with Chris and Gini, the pre-vacation edition.
Oh, the pre-vacation edition.
Yeah, how you doing tonight? You cooked all day.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well,
Welcome in.
welcome on in. Hello. Where is everybody? Come on, you guys. This is 187 shares.
They'll be in.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So this is the pre-vacation version of Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini. We go on vacation once a year. We're going to go to Park City, Utah, and we spend nearly 3 weeks out there. And that's just like recharging because we wait till everyone else is done. Like you're all done with your holiday season. All of our staff is done with their vacations. And when everybody else is done,
we go.
Then we go. So that's about to happen.
Hello, everybody on Instagram. Hello, everybody on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. So I don't know what it is, but we had a lot of shares.
If you don't know, I probably don't know.
He has no clue, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys are all coming on in, do we have any housekeeping?
Well, that's your job tonight.
Housekeeping. So we have 2 conventions already, 3 conventions already secured for this year. National BOP.
Where's that going to be?
Las Vegas.
Oh God! Don't go to Las Vegas without me unless you want to have the time of your life.
We are in. So that's going to be the National BOP Convention
Bureau
with
Prison.
AFGE, the Bureau of Prisons, the guys and gals, the little tiny people that are like 10 feet tall.
Don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Bunch of left tackles.
We already locked in APW for Florida, where I think we're going to be in Miami, Victor said. And,
oh gosh, tempting me with a good time again.
And then we're off to San Francisco, California for APW State Convention. So that's what we have locked in so far.
If anybody else wants us, you got to reach out to Gini and let her know. Once we lock it down, that's it.
Yeah, we can't do anything else. And you know what? Sometimes we have, listen to this. Sometimes we have family events we have to go to, and we literally turn down important family events to be at this because we know how important this is for you guys to get the training.
We're turning down a cruise right now for something important.
Oh, we're not supposed to say that out loud yet because I haven't told the gang. But
too late. It just got said.
Hello from Indiana. I've been on OWCP for almost 6 years.
What's up? You've been here almost the whole time.
Wow.
Thank you for being here.
We really need a place in Hawaii. So we know we do. If there is a doctor that you guys know of that would like to be a part of our franchise in Hawaii, anywhere in Hawaii, all the islands in Hawaii, please reach out to me. You can email me at Gini, Gini, at federalinjurycenters.com.
But once you send that referral over, don't hold your breath, because what we know is that for every one doctor that we've got joined with us, about 100 said no. And it's not because we're not good at explaining what we do. It's because what you need is difficult.
Yes.
And so it's hard. So we have 53 and we're about to add another 7 locations in the next 2 months. 7 locations in the next 2 months. But that'll take us up to 61 in the entire country. And that's only in about 25 states. So we're working really hard to do it. But just understand that whatever you want, we want to, but your doctors usually don't.
Yeah, and we're at number 54. We just opened Manhattan.
Orlando.
We just opened another office in Manhattan. We just opened Orlando.
Yeah.
All these offices have been seeing patients as of last week. So we're super excited.
We saw 27 people already in Orlando.
Yep. What?
Yeah. And almost all of their claims are already accepted. So that's what we do.
Wow. All right. Hello. We have a lot of people on. We have a lot of new folks on, and welcome. I'm Gini. This is Chris, husband and wife, not friends, because some people think we're friends.
I'm the husband.
Yeah. Or the other, is it known as the other guy?
I'm the other guy.
And we train and educate and do union conventions, and we teach all about OWCP. We answer all your OWCP questions. If we are not on your Facebook group page, you can send me a request. We will be glad to join your Facebook
Yeah, we'd
group.
love to, but too many of your pages don't allow us, so get permission because we're not trying to overstep our boundaries.
And as you guys are on, you will see FIC Office of offices that we have. We have
Yeah.
Kate with Federal Injury Centers of Virginia Beach. We have Federal Injury Centers of Thousand Oaks. Irene is on.
What's up, Irene?
Aw. This girl from Hawaii said, "You both are amazing. Thank you for all you do." Well, you're welcome.
You're very welcome. Thank you for saying that.
We have Federal Injury Centers of Columbus, Ohio on.
What's up, Columbus?
We have Federal Injury Centers of, Amy's on, and everybody else is hopping on. Okay.
Hi, Amy.
So what we're going to discuss tonight, because I know we waited like all month to do this first live. So welcome back. I hope everybody had a great New Year, Christmas. And if you have been following us, you see all of our reels that Robert has been posting.
Thank you, Robert.
On our chats. And
everybody needs
pages.
A Robert.
Yeah.
Period. Everybody's got to have that. Like, thanks to him, more of you are seeing us now, and that's good for you.
Tanya A. Wood. Hello, Jeannie and Chris. I sent you a message. If you can, please help me.
Yes, ma'am.
Melissa said, I can't hear you all. If you can hear us, can you give me some thumbs up?
Is anybody else not hearing us? Just go ahead and post it, because sometimes, like, I'm really bad with technology, like awful. And because we have like computer, microphones, speakers, headphones, sometimes we screw it up, and I'm awful.
All right. So everybody's giving thumbs up. Okay. So if you cannot hear, what you need to do is just
check your settings.
Get out of Facebook, like all the way, like log out, not log out, but just like, what do you do? Swipe up and let it be gone, and then come back in. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Soto.
All right. Appreciate that. All right. So just check your settings. It's probably like a speaker thing.
Yeah.
I have problems like that all the time.
Okay. Great. Okay. Thank you, everybody. So tonight, what we're going to talk about is how to file an injury, whether it be a CA1 or a CA2. So we're going to actually go over what everybody should have posted in their break rooms, a CA10. And if you do not have a CA10, you can go on Google and just click CA10 form, or you can go to federalinjurycenters.com and click forms, and all the forms you will ever need is on the forms page.
Don't go to Google for anything.
If you're looking for a doctor.
Not to find forms. Let me tell you why. The reason we post all these forms on our website is because when I go to Google and I search OWCP forms, I go to their link, and then I click the link, and it won't open. And my laptop, because we live online, is like the Ferrari of laptops, and I can't open these damn forms. So we put them on our website. That way they always open. So you can go to federalinjurycenters.com. Check the OWCP forms tab, and every form we mentioned tonight will be there. You'll have no problem printing them. There's no reason for you to have the extra hassle when you need the stuff. You freaking need the stuff. So go to federalinjurycenters.com and click the forms.
All right. And then don't forget, share, and share some more, as I am doing.
The reason why you share is, and I'm going to get into this topic, and I told Robert tonight. So Robert edits our videos and stuff and puts it on the podcast. The podcast, by the way, is called Breaking OWCP. Breaking OWCP. You can find Breaking OWCP with Chris and Gini anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So go to Spotify, Apple, wherever the hell you listen to podcasts, and go to Breaking OWCP podcast with Chris and Gini. Look that up, because that way, like, you're working during the day, you want to listen to it on your ride during the work, you can do that. If you're on the West Coast, and right now it's 5:00 p.m. on the West Coast, and you're just not home yet. Some of you are just not done with work yet, so you can't listen to this, but you can listen to the podcast. So go to the podcast, the Breaking OWCP podcast with Chris and Gini.
Okay. So let's get to it. So hold your questions. I know a lot of you are asking some questions about your CA2. We're going to get to the CA2. So let's talk about what a federal employee should do when injured at work.
So this is the most basic thing that I teach, but I texted Robert like 15 minutes before we started. I said, Robert, you may have to edit some of this stuff out tonight, because I'm feeling pretty spicy.
Oh.
And the reason why is because every time I get into the CA10 is called what a federal employee should do when injured at work. Every time I get into the CA10, I start finding my blood pressure going up, because I realize what they're doing, in my opinion, it's not a fact. I've never interviewed anybody that said this. I'm making an assumption that's based on experience. What I think is they're hiding this form from you. It's being hidden. And I think it's always been hidden one way or another, what a federal employee should do when injured at work. So it was just revised October of 2021. Prior to the revision, the last revision was done in 1987. Okay, so 1987. Many of you listening to this were not born yet.
Oh,
Many of you that are federal employees today were not born in 1987. And in 87, I was 7 years old. Okay. And, I probably didn't look for forms and stuff. Okay. But when I became 18, I still wasn't looking, and neither were you. And when you were 30, you still weren't looking. And the problem is that nobody knew what a CA-10 was, what a federal employee should do when injured at work. And I mean, listen to the title of that form. Does it make you think, if I knew about that form and I got hurt, that might help? I think it might help. And that's the issue. Well, so it wasn't posted. And here's what it said. It said post on employees bulletin board. It was never posted. I would ask, like, out of the 200 people in this room, how many people ever heard of a CA-10? And 2 or maybe 3 people raise their hand. Well, what about the other 197 people? Well, when they get hurt, they don't know what to do. And you go to your supervisor and they're definitely going to hose you, right? Your supervisor is going to tell you some things that are just awful, definitely have nothing to do with the rules and laws, and it's just going to kill your case. But if you had that CA-10, you'd kind of know what to do. Well, okay, fast forward like almost 35 years, and they changed it, and it said, instead of saying post on employees bulletin board, where it was never posted, now it says post on agency's website. Well, you never heard of a CA-10. Are you going to your agency's website just for fun? Website. Are you going to your agency's website just for fun to look for a CA-10? Wait, no, you never heard of it.
Wait, did you say weed?
You never heard of no. You never heard of the form, right? So you're not going to your agency's website to look up a form you never heard of. So now that form's totally invisible. Before, it could be posted on your bulletin board or whatever, but now it's not posted anywhere, and you're not going to your website looking for it. And so that's the problem, and that's why I get so fired up and spicy, because I think what they're doing is trying to keep you from reporting your injuries.
He's upset, folks.
That's what I think happens. They don't want you to report your injuries. Well, why? I don't know. I can assume because it costs the government money, but a lot of things cost the government money, and not many of them are more important than this. So you need to know. So tonight we're going to talk about the CA-10, what a federal employee should do when injured at work. And you can find this form at www.federalinjurycenters.com. And then once you know, you can no longer be somebody that says, well, I didn't know. I didn't know I could report my injury. I didn't know that I had 3 years. I didn't know to get a CA-16. You're like, wait, 3 years, CA-16. What does any of this mean?
So we're going to explain.
We're going to talk about that tonight.
All right. What a federal employee should do when injured at work. Number one. Report. What?
By all means, go ahead.
Report to your supervisor. Hold on.
When? As soon as possible.
Means.
What does that even mean?
Now.
So report your injury as soon as possible. Well, that's the problem. That's what the form says. Well, as soon as possible means something different to you and me. Because to me, it means now, right now. I'm hurt. I report now. Well, how do you report? Go tell them, call them, send an email, smoke signals, whatever it takes.
Smoke signals.
I don't think they'll accept those anymore, but at least you can put it in writing you sent smoke signals.
Yeah, your Karens in your neighborhood may just call the fire department and put those out.
They really don't want smoke.
In our neighborhood.
Okay, so don't burn stuff. But the thing is, report to your supervisor as soon as possible now.
So we know during the holidays, a lot of you worked through your injuries, because I am hearing all of it now. Everybody's like, oh, I got work during the holidays.
Now what?
Now what do I do? So this is what you do. You have 3 years to file your work injuries from the date it happened. 3 years, not
3 days.
Not 3 days.
2 weeks.
Not 2 weeks.
30 days.
Not 30 days. Not 90 days. Not
45
60
days. None of those. You have 3 years. But the first thing on the CA-10 says report as soon as possible. Well, I say this all the time. If you know me, you know that, in my opinion, the definition of as soon as possible is now.
So
right now.
Now. So even if you got injured back last year and Christmas made it worse. Go ahead and start filing. And we know you guys are not completely done working. As far as USPS goes, they're still probably picking up packages and still delivering mail. So, right, Robert, now. NOW. Yes, Victor, those stupid visors.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll get into that. Victor, stupid visor is a true thing. But why do we have to report now? Because the second thing on this form says to choose your own doctor, which I'll get to, and get a CA16. Why reporting now? Okay, so the third thing, by the way, says, report your injury and get COP. Here's the thing: if you don't report now, you run the risk of losing valuable benefits. You don't get a CA16, which is in the second paragraph of the CA10.
Yes.
So the form CA16.
Wait. What's a CA16? Do I need that if I have to file an injury?
So I'm glad you asked that question.
Oh, okay.
The point of that form is it pays all your medical bills for the first 60 days following a CA1 injury that happened in a single shift. Well, okay, so do you understand that if you had somebody else paying your bills, you probably get better faster because you're not making medical decisions on finances.
Yep.
That's why the CA10 is or CA16 is so important. And in the CA10 form, the second paragraph says, tell your supervisor to give you a CA16. But the supervisor says, I don't have to give you that. Or there's nowhere in the rules that says I have to give you that. Or you're not hurt bad enough. You don't need that.
Don't listen to them, please.
Or I don't know what a CA16 is or how to find one. Well, none of those excuses are valid. The law says they're required to give it to you within 4 hours of the claimed injury. Boom.
4 hours.
That's it.
So if it's
and it doesn't say within 4 hours if it's a valid injury, if you're really hurt, if they think it's bad enough.
So what do you do if it's 4 hours and 5 minutes?
File a damn grievance if it's 4 hours and 1 second.
He said
file a grievance.
Darn grievance.
I said file a damn grievance because what you do is you go to your union and say, hey, look, we are not getting CA16s because if you didn't get it, nobody's getting it. And we got to start filing grievances because everyone has a right to have their medical bills paid by the government. I didn't ask to get hurt doing this heavy job. I deserve to have my bills paid. And that's what a CA16 does. But you must report your injury, an injury that happens in a single shift. Okay. You must report it within 7 days of the injury, but you're hurt now, report it today.
But here's the thing. Just yesterday, somebody messaged me and asked me, I would have read it. It's just on my phone as using for Instagram. Okay. So she said her supervisor said she has to choose one. She filed a CA1, number one. She had to either choose if she wants COP or if she wants a CA16.
Can I just stop you?
How ridiculous.
All right. So Victor earlier used the word stupid visor. I'd like to say that I coined that term, but I didn't. But I can tell you this. I did coin this phrase. Supervisors are either dumb or they're acting dumb.
Remember, not all of them. We have friends that are supervisors, but not all. But 90% of them.
I mean, there's like 5.
There's like 5 supervisors that are friends.
And those are freaking great guys and ladies.
And ladies.
Okay. The best. But the other like 90,000 are either dumb or plain dumb, right? I don't have to give you a CA16. Yeah, you do. Well, you're not hurt bad enough. None of your business. Show me your medical license. How do you know? Right? Well, you have to choose COP or CA16. What does that even mean? Because as long as I report my injury right away, I'm eligible for both. Okay, but I'll get into COP in a minute. The deal is that if you report your injury within 7 days and it's a CA1 claim that happened in a single shift, you have a CA16 and you get to have it within 4 hours of the claimed injury. And then that pays all of your medical bills for the next 60 days. That's a big deal.
So for everybody out there, yes, you can get a CA16 and yes, you can still check off COP.
And if your supervisor says, I don't know how to find one, never heard of one, don't know what one is, go to federalinjurycenters.com, go to the OWCP forms tab, print one off and take it to your supervisor and have them fill out page 1 and sign it. You're off to the races.
And those of you that are headed towards retirement, what I get a lot of questions, especially from a couple of the retirement Facebook groups. Yes, file your claim before you retire. You can still get your benefits. Okay. Please file it before you retire. After you retire, it's going to be a little hard. and maybe not even be able to happen.
So the second part of that second paragraph also says you have the right to initial selection of physician. I am not.
You have the right to choose your doctor.
Right. You can choose your doctor.
Mhm.
Why is that important? Because your supervisor says, go to the urgent care, go to the ER, go to the family practice doctor. Your buddy at work who has best intentions says, go to the ortho for a sprained ankle that will never need surgery. Like, you're going to the wrong doctors. But when you go to the doctor your supervisor tells you to go to, there's your problem, because it's typically an urgent care. Urgent cares are typically run by nurse practitioners or PAs. Most often, no MD is on site. The nurse practitioner does a great job. We love nurse practitioners and PAs. We use them in every one of our offices with medical doctors. But what happens is the NP does their job, or the PA. They sign everything, no MD countersignature, and your claim gets denied. And the denial letter says specifically your claim is denied because the physician is not a qualified physician, because it's not a MD. It's a nurse practitioner.
Yes.
Right. So you go to the doctor your supervisor sends you to, you're going to an almost certain denied claim. And how else do I know that? Because if you look at OSHA's work injury and illness statistics every year, about 14% of federal employees have accepted claims. But when I go and talk to people, they'll say, well, gosh, 50% of us are hurt, 70%, 60, 80, all of us. Like, we're all hurt. But okay, so the smallest number I ever hear is 50. I don't make this up. They say this.
Right.
What do I know? I'm not a federal employee. Okay. I don't work in your agency. I don't know what's happening except for what you tell me.
And what we do read on the stats.
But what you tell me
Yeah.
is that at least half of your people are hurt. Well, nationwide, only 14% of people have accepted claims. And you can look at OSHA's work injury and illness statistics if you want to see the proof on that. So if only 14% of people have accepted claims and at least 50% of people are hurt, we have a problem.
Yep.
We have a serious problem. And a big reason for that is you're going to the wrong doctor or not seeing a doctor at all. So the second part of that thing says you can choose your own doctor. So choose wisely.
And this will answer the question somebody asked earlier. How do you find a trained OWCP doctor? Number one, go to federalinjurycenters.com.
That's what I would do.
Click locations. And if there is not a federal injury centers in your area yet, or in your state, go to Google and type in OWCP doctor, your city and state. So OWCP doctor, Tampa, Florida. Dr. Lee and Dr. K will probably pop up, and so will the Orlando office.
But the thing is, like, you can search, but most doctors don't want to help you. And I said, like, right away, like, yeah, you should choose a federal injury centers doctor. And somebody on here is going, oh, there you go. That's the whole catch. You want us to go to your offices. Don't. 14% of people have accepted claims when they don't come to our office.
Yeah.
So you can go someplace else. So you'll probably be part of the 14. But in the federal injury centers model, greater than 93% have accepted claims. So you can go anywhere you want to go. What we're doing is saying, hey, you can win if you want to. You don't have to keep losing.
All right. I'm going to answer this question. Peggy from Texas. Are you guys planning on doing a podcast related to OWCP anytime soon?
A podcast?
We already have the podcast going.
We do.
There's a bunch of episodes. You can go download it. And how can they find you?
Well, if you just go to any place that you listen to podcasts, you just, Spotify, Apple, any place you listen to them. Google Play, I guess has it.
Yeah, I think so.
What you do, we're not like out promoting it. That's why I'm not sure where it's all at, but it's everywhere. Like, I think literally everywhere. And it's called the Breaking OWCP Podcast with Chris and Gini.
Yeah.
And the reason we have that podcast is because I wrote some books. This is one of them. You can't see it well, but this is my 4th edition. It's called Breaking OWCP Volume 4, 25 things you can do to win in OWCP. And I wrote these books because you need help. And a lot of people are getting these books. They're downloading them to their phone. It's what I call putting Breaking OWCP in your pocket.
Yep.
Because obviously, we can't put books in our pocket, but we all put our phones there. So you can download the book to your phone, put the phone in your pocket. You've now put the book in your pocket. Well, what does that do? Well, when your supervisor says, I don't have to give you a CA-16, you can go to the book and you can say, well, the Code of Federal Regulations says not only do you have to give it to me, but you have 4 hours from the claimed injury to give it to me, and you're on the clock. jerk. And so that's what happens when you have the book. So it's called the Breaking OWCP Podcast. It comes from the Breaking OWCP book collection. There are 4 volumes. Go to www.breakingowcp.com and download these books to your phone. Well, where's my paper book copy? Not right now. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to put it on your phone, because this whole thing is about winning. It's about winning. It's not about having like a book in your bookshelf. Okay. I have books on my bookshelf, whatever. But this book is about winning. Put it on your phone. You need to have instant access at all times. That's the whole point.
Callie said, if I choose a federal injury center near to me in California, will the doctors do telehealth appointments since I'm all the way in the Pacific, because travel is tough and very costly coming from Hawaii?
So we do telehealth appointments when it's legal. So if you're in Hawaii, and none of our doctors are licensed in Hawaii, so we can't do it when you're in Hawaii. But we have regulations, compliance that matters to us too. So we can do telehealth visits when it's compliant. We have compliance built into every aspect of our system, and we don't go outside of it for any reason, no matter what. So if we don't have a doctor in your state, licensed in your state, then we cannot do telehealth visits because it's not legal.
And Diane, you can go to any FIC for them to get your claim accepted, and you can go back home. You have a right to go to therapy in your state. So if you're going to travel out of state to get to see us and get your narrative and everything going, that's fine, because you have to do what you have to do.
Right. There's other things that goes along with your claim, like having to have CA-17s filled out on a regular basis, CA-20s. And so you'll have to get back to the office for that, because that's just the law and there's nothing we can do about it. But we do try to accommodate you in the best way possible.
All right, back to the CA-10.
So there's a third section of this form. It tells you to fill out your CA-1 and CA-2. Now, in the old days, you had to get a piece of paper from your supervisor, and you'd have to say, hey, dear supervisor, I know you're a jerk and you seem to hate me, but I need a CA-1. Can I fill it out? And they'd say no, or I don't have time, or I don't even know what a CA-1 is, or you're not hurt that bad, or all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, now they can't do that because it's all done online. And so now the third section says go to eComp. It's ecomp.dol.gov. And you can fill out your CA-1 or CA-2 online right there. Then your supervisor gets an email, and they're required to fill out their portion and send it to DOL. And that puts them on the clock, right? They have 10 days to submit that once they receive it to Department of Labor. So what that says is go do that, fill out your CA-1 and 2. And then the fourth section says how you want to get paid. Now, I've never talked to anybody that didn't care about that. How do you want to get paid?
Through my CA-10.
I blew right through that.
And I didn't even get to explain it. Well, let me just go back.
Okay.
So we talked about filing your injury now. We talked
I'm used to doing all of this. And tonight she's like, for sure, she's doing all the teaching. Go for it. You want to read out of my book?
No,
I wrote?
I don't like the book. All right. So report your injury now. Get a CA-16. Okay. Remember, the CA-16 is only for a CA-1. Don't forget, you have the right to choose where you want to be seen. Don't let the supervisors tell you other than that. So we're going to explain a CA-1 and a CA-2, because a lot of you ask me, should I file a CA-1 or a CA-2A? No, just listen. CA-1. Go ahead.
Oh, it's me again?
Yeah, now it's your turn.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's 2 ways to file a new injury, CA-1 or CA-2. 2A, set that aside for a second. A CA-1 is a form that you fill out on ecomp.dol.gov for an injury that happened in a single shift. You twisted your ankle, you popped your knee, you bent over, you lifted a box, you felt a pop in your back. Those all happen in a single shift. A CA-2 is a form on ecomp.dol.gov that you fill out for anything that developed over time, like low back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, osteoarthritis of the knee, tenosynovitis, things that develop over time. And anything that develops over 2 or more shifts is a CA-2. Now, a lot of people, here's a problem with that. Like, take letter carriers. Letter carriers' job description says they walk 8 to 10 miles a day. 8 to 10 miles a day.
Some more.
They lift up to 70-pound packages throughout the day. They carry satchels on their back that are up to 35 pounds. They're not supposed to carry 2, but many of them do. They climb up and down stairs, in and out of their LLVs, and they get hurt all the time, but they also have a lot of wear and tear. And they're always surprised to learn that when you walk 10 miles a day for 20 years, your knees might get torn up, and that's covered. That's a CA2. So if you're somebody that's been just like grinding for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, and your knees, your ankles, your plantar fasciitis on the bottom of your feet, your hips, your lower back, because you've been lifting all this stuff, your shoulders are just tore up. That stuff's covered. And a lot of people say, yeah, but I don't remember a specific incident. I didn't feel a pop, or, I didn't have any swelling, and, just nothing happened. Just over time, it hurts. Well, what are you, a mountain climber? You're like a weekend warrior?
Wow.
Black court basketball? What are we doing?
Snowboarding.
Wait, no, you're a letter carrier and you walk 10 miles a day for 25 years. That probably happened. That's a CA2. And most people don't understand that is a claim that gets covered. You have a right to have this stuff covered. You took a job for the government. You didn't ask the government to cripple you. You have a right to get help.
You know what,
Robert, get that. Get that part.
If I was a mail carrier or a rural carrier, I would literally, like, if I was back home in Utah, I would literally deliver mail on a snowmobile, just up and down the streets. I think that would be fun.
With the blow up snowman.
Yeah. Richard Cody, I had a PM that drove me to the ER after smashing my toe, and he filled out the OWCP form for me and got my claim approved and paid. He is long retired, nice guy at times.
Well, there's not guys like that anymore.
Nope.
And if there are, I'd like to meet them and appreciate them, like, publicly. That's a really nice thing.
Victor said, congratulations to Federal Injury Centers of Orlando for their new office. Thank you.
Yeah. Already got 27 patients with claims accepted. That's what we do.
All right. Diana said, okay, thank you. I'm facing another major back surgery. After my first surgery, going back to work, I have re-injured my back. I'm a mail carrier.
I know. That's why this subject's so important. So let's go to the fourth section. First section is report now. Second is get a CA16 and choose your own doctor. Third is go to eComp and fill out your CA1 and CA2. And the fourth is, how do you want to get paid? Well, we were training a DOL group. It's so funny. It's like DOL, including claims examiner, senior claims examiners. We were training for OWCP. It's like, wow, Chris is training OWCP claims examiners. Yes. On how to do OWCP.
We were a senior claims examiner.
That's true. And by the way, Super Cole had the most insightful thing that I had ever heard. And so as a result, I teach it to everybody now. So thank you to him. But here's what he said. When you fill out a CA1 and you have to elect COP, continuation of pay, which is good for up to 45 days of time off on a CA1 injury that is reported within 30 days of the injury. It's like, but here's what happens on box 15 of the first page of the CA1 on ecomp.dol.gov. People say, well, gosh, I get A, COP, continuation of pay, or B, sick and annual leave. Well, why would I take my sick and annual? Well, because if your claim's not accepted, you have to pay back COP. Well, to pay back COP means that they take your sick and annual leave. If you choose sick and annual leave right away, they take it right away. That's it. It's over. You took it. So he said, everybody should just take COP. And if your claim's not accepted, they'll just take your sick and annual leave. How are you damaged by this? You would have had all your sick and annual leave taken anyways if you chose it. So choose COP because it gives you a fighting chance. And let me say this now. I've been doing OWCP since 2007, and I've never had a single person of the thousands of people that I've helped. I've never had a single person pay back COP. That's because the only reason you pay back COP is if your claim's not accepted. And I don't know what that means. So take COP. Letter A, box 15 of the CA1, elect COP. The worst thing that happens is they take the sick and annual that you would have given them in the first place and don't give it to them because it belongs to you. It belongs to you. Don't give it up.
Oh, so this is another one that came up, and I'll have Chris.
That makes me really emotional.
No, I know. I see your eyes getting.
That really upsets me. Like, since he said that to me, I've been like, I can't believe I didn't think of that myself. you just give away your sick and annual.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want vacation. I'm hurt, and I'm so glad I got hurt at work. I want to use my vacation time because Vegas sucks that bad. No, take COP. Choose federal injury centers. Get your claim accepted. But the other thing is, you only pay back COP if your claim is ultimately denied. What does that mean? You give up. That's what it means. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't let them bully you, guys. Do not let them bully you.
Don't give up.
Know your rights. And this is why we're here, to educate and train and let you know that there's places around the United States, and we're trying to get many more going for the help that you guys need.
That's right.
Christy Alvarez, if my doctor isn't certified in the 6th edition and gives an MMI rating, how do I go about getting my schedule award? Just message me.
Your doctor doesn't have to be certified. They just have to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Certification is irrelevant.
Yeah. If you have any issues with schedule award, just private message me after the live.
Yeah. They don't have to be certified. They just have to know how to do it.
Lisa, I have a question. If you're on OWCP and I have an appointment that says 8:30, I start work at 5 a.m. Do I have to clock out and go to the appointment, or do I get paid to go to the appointment and return to work when I'm done, finish my day, and clock out and go home?
If you're a rural carrier, you have to take the whole day off. That's just your contract with the agency. Everybody else, you can use LWAP, and you can take up to 4 hours of your work shift on LWAP to be out of work.
Diana, any plans to open FIC in Michigan? We are working on that. Actually, Joe is actually working on that.
We have plans to open up everywhere we're not.
Yes.
We haven't gotten complacent. We're not trying to not open. We have 7 offices coming soon. And our goal this year is to open 36 minimum. 36. That's 3 per month. New offices, which would take us up to 90 offices.
So we got Dr. Dorfman with FIC of Melbourne and Titusville and
What's up, Doc?
Orlando. John Reverend said, "What up?"
John, what's going on? TSA in the house.
Kim said, "I travel 7 hours to Quincy, Massachusetts. It's worth it. I would have lost everything if it wasn't for Chris and Gini." Oh, how sweet. I'm sorry you have to drive that far. Message me and let me know what state if you're not in Massachusetts.
And let me say this. I've been to the Quincy office. They're friends of ours, obviously. But they did that work. And so I can't take the credit. I mean, our franchise offices are trained so well. Okay. When they sign up with us, they have at least 1 month of training before they can see a single patient. And Dr. J and his staff over there, they're just crushing it. And they have since day one. So thank you for giving us the credit. But our franchise offices are killing it every day. They're doing the work.
We got Dr. Hobbs from Salt Lake City.
What's up? What's up, Dr. Hobbs? He's a doctor of physical therapy, right?
Yes.
DPT, right?
He's DPT.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? Let's see. Kim said, "I appreciate you two so much." Aw. Kim, you're in New York. We have a Manhattan office.
And a lot of the boroughs coming soon. In fact, Dr. Malimi in Manhattan is looking at Buffalo and where is someplace else? Anyways, in what do you call North New York?
Albany or
what
Buffalo?
Do you call upstate. So a couple offices upstate, and we're going to be looking at all the boroughs too.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there you go, Kevin Andrew.
What's up, Kevin?
If you're close to Cleveland, come visit them.
All they do is win.
Oh, Gilberto Soto said, "I have a bilateral CTS case approved." Well, that's awesome.
That your case is approved is awesome.
Richard Cody said, "I had another injury and my supervisor told me I have to choose a doctor within 25 miles. I said, I'd love to, you know what? When these supervisors are telling you guys
it's like, where are they reading this stuff?
False things that they're telling you, I would love to see where they're getting their information so we can share it with everybody else."
So the CA-10 says you have the right to initial selection of physician, period. It doesn't say initial selection of physician if it's within 25 miles. And you're able to get paid for up to 100 miles round trip. That's 50 miles each way. So at least 2 times what your supervisor told you.
Yeah, and so he said, "I said, not true. The mileage requirement is only for mileage reimbursement, which is now 100 miles.
Which is not your supervisor's problem. That's your problem. Their job is to fill out the forms and get the hell out of the way. So get breakingowcp.com. Go to breaking OWCP.com and download the books. There's 4 volumes. I'm sorry there's 4, not 1, but I wrote them at the speed of thought.
But here's the funny part. When you do have them downloaded, and it's not even about buying it, it's having it and go, no, it's not. Look at this. Show them the law, because all
the Code of Federal Regulations
books
says
have the laws in them.
Yeah.
Every book has all the laws and CFR codes, and
all you have to know is like the table of contents.
Yeah.
Because your supervisor says some stupid thing, and you just go to your table of contents and go, oh, wait, what does it say here on the CA16 section?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, if a supervisor said that to me, I'd be like, can you just show me that in writing? Show it to me.
And then wait,
And
they
wait.
can't.
Yeah,
They can't, but you can.
right.
It's powerful. It's so powerful. Our friend Ron, he sat and read the book when his supervisor had him on limited duty, sitting at a desk in a closed room to punish him. So he just read the book.
Yeah.
So the supervisor could see it. He didn't get messed with anymore either.
Yeah. Okay, so let's recap on the CA10.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the CA10 is what a federal employee should do when injured at work. You can find it at www.federalinjurycenters.com. There's a tab at the top that says OWCP forms, and you'll find a CA10 there. But it's broken down to just basic sections. Who do you report to? Supervisor. Today, go to eComp and fill out a CA1, CA2. Tell your supervisor to give you a CA16 and choose your own doctor. Get COP, because the worst thing that can happen is that you have to give your sick and annual leave anyways. But in all these years, I've never had anybody have to pay it back, because all we do is win. The rest of the form is, how does your doctor get paid? Why should you care? Okay. All you need to know is your doctor's billing OWCP. If they're billing you, now you care a lot. So you can just tell them, hey, I'm going to give you a claim number. You'll get paid. Here's a CA16. You'll get paid. The problem is, like ERs.
Oh, I know. We hear it all the time.
Hospital billing departments are awful. So if your supervisor sends you to a hospital through an ER, they're not going to bill OWCP. Instead, they're going to bill your health insurance. And you got to ask yourself, why did I give them my health insurance in the first place?
It's sad.
But let's say
Very
you didn't. And then they just send you a bill for $25,000 because, they billed everything under the sun, which was all stupid, probably. And they didn't bill OWCP because they didn't know what to do with the CA16. So that's another problem. That's why you don't just go to anybody. You go to somebody that's trained in OWCP.
And for the book, anytime we go to a state or national convention, we always bring books, whatever volume is out. So as far as APW Florida and Miami and San Francisco, California, and
you'll get
BOP
these copies
in Vegas, you'll be getting the books. So,
but everybody else, you got to download it to your phone, because you need to have it right now. When your supervisor's they're gonna come at you, you got to be ready.
Kathy said, hi, Chris and Jeannie. I have a question for you. I was working in the post office A, and they were sending me daily to post office B, which they pay my travel to drive. Good. I had the supervisor tell me that they need to transfer me to post office B permanently against my will. Are they actually able to legally do this?
Well, your union has a say in this, but here's what they say about job offers outside of your workstation. They've got to be within 50 miles of your home location. So they can't send you to 51 miles away. One of the things they do to punish you for reporting an injury is send you 100 miles away. Well, that's 2 times too far, right? So do that, but you need to get with your union and make sure they're fighting for you. The union people that we're friends with will fight to the death on this, and that's what you need. So go talk to your union. They're sending you too far away, fix it. But they're not allowed to send you for a limited duty assignment or a light duty assignment more than 50 miles away from your home.
Brian said, I love these chats. I've been to a 2-day union OWCP class. This is a tough subject. Knowledge is power.
No doubt.
Yes, it is.
Thanks for saying that.
Miss Edwards, what is the website to find a 6th edition MMI physician? There isn't one, but if you message me your information, I can help you with that.
No doubt. Yeah, we can help you with 6th edition, but there's not a website for it.
Yeah. Ron Speakman, hey
What's up, Ron?
guys, get the book that Chris has wrote, both paperback and PDF version, and download them to your device. They will come in handy. Exactly.
And Ron has a podcast called Fed Up. Go check that out on Facebook. Go to Fed Up.
What's the name of the book? So we have 4 books.
They're all called Breaking OWCP. Wait, did you watch What's that show? Breaking Bad. No, I hated it.
Oh my gosh. He didn't even watch but like
couldn't get through
3 episodes, and I know it's a slow start, but you got to give it a chance.
I can't watch losers doing losing things, but here's why I wrote the book, and I called it Breaking
Hold
OWCP.
on. Diane, there's volume 1, 2, 3, and this one he's holding is 4.
Number 4. The reason that this happened, the books happened because COVID happened. And Gini and I had just got done with a year. We flew 54 times out of 52 weeks to train federal employees about OWCP. And then, boom, the government locked us down. We couldn't go anywhere. And I'm like, what do we do now? We're already doing chats, but it's not enough. If it was enough, we wouldn't have had to fly 54 times in 52 weeks. And so I'm listening to this audiobook, and a consultant, he says, you mean to tell me you don't even have a book? And he's like coaching somebody, right? And so I hit pause, I opened my laptop, and I started writing. And 3 days later, in 28 hours, I wrote the first book. And then I wrote the second, then the third, then the fourth. And it just turns out that like this is what you need.
We might do a combination of all and make it into a book, but it's going to be a pretty hefty price if we do that.
Well,
so
and I don't like to charge a lot, so I'll probably never do it. I like it to be cheap because I want everybody to just be like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Just get it. I charge enough to pay for the website, basically.
Oh yeah, and you could, like this one that he has here, you could read this probably in an hour. Like, no joke. The font is not little. Like, see, like Victor said, all 4 books are very easy to read and understood. I mean, Chris wrote it so a 4th grader could understand it.
But the point is not to sell books, because that's not why we're here. Like, we were here for years before I had the first book. That's not what we're doing. But I realized when the lockdown happened is that could happen again. People need more information, not less. And not nearly enough people are trying. So I do the best I can. We do this. We have the podcast, and we write the books. So breakingowcp.com. You don't have to buy the books. You don't have to go to federal injury centers if you don't want to. You're welcome here, right? You have a problem, we're going to solve it. You don't have to go to my office. You don't have to read my book.
Yeah.
But they are available to you.
Melissa, if you're under OWCP doctor, does the doctor there can rule you MMI if there's nothing else they can do?
Yes. In fact, MMI stands for maximum medical improvement. And the definition of that, the layman's definition, is there's nothing else I can do. So let's say the doctor says surgery would help, and you say, but I don't want surgery. Well, you're at MMI because there's nothing else I can do. That's MMI.
Kepali, Miss Harp, sorry, it's a cute little Hawaiian name. My condition hasn't gotten better since 2021, and I saw a second opinion doctor this month. He says in his second opinion that I'm able to work. Based on what my doctor says in the CA20 differs greatly from his opinion. Yeah. My doctor says I'm disabled and unable to work based on her findings since 2021. Who has the upper hand based on my condition and findings? My doctor, who I've seen since the beginning, or the second opinion doctor I saw for 5 minutes?
I'm so glad you said for 5 minutes. Now, if it would have been 6, 7, 8, or 13, whatever, you know how long it was. So the way it works for second opinion visits is they take the preponderance of the evidence. They say, hey, we got your doctor's report. We got the second opinion doctor's report. Which one makes more sense to us? Which one is better? And so your doctor's report has to be better than their doctor's report. But what we tell people is, first of all, when you get to the second opinion, you have to go. You can't avoid it. It's required. If you don't go, they'll cut your benefits off. So you have to go.
Yeah, because a lot of you ask, do I have to go to the second opinion? I get that message.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
You must go. They will cut your benefits off until you relent and say, yes, fine, I'll go.
So don't push back.
But what I tell you is document what time you show up. I got in at 8:58 a.m. Document what time you signed in. I signed in at 9:02 a.m. Document what time the medical assistant brought you back. I was brought back at 9:16 a.m. Do you notice I didn't round to the nearest 5?
Right.
This was the time to the minute it happened. What time did the doctor come into the room? The doctor came into the room at 9:24 a.m. What time did the doctor leave the room? 9:26 a.m. Document the hell out of this visit. And then write a narrative report. And when I say narrative, it can be one paragraph. I showed up at this time. I signed up at this time. I was taken back at this time. The doctor saw me at this time. The doctor left at this time. Here's what the doctor did during the visit. Here's what the MA did. Nobody looked at me. Nobody touched me. Nobody talked to me. They barely said anything to me. I offered them documentation. They refused to look at it. And the other thing I say is take your doctor CA20, your doctor CA17, your doctor's narrative, and hand it to the second opinion doctor. Don't give it to the receptionist, the MA, or anybody else. Hand it to the doctor. And then if the doctor refuses to take the documents, you say, at 9:23 a.m., I handed these documents to the doctor. These are the documents I handed, and the doctor refused to take them. And 2 minutes later, the visit was over. That's how you handle a second opinion visit, because they're hosing you, so you got to hit them back. You hit them back with the truth. Don't exaggerate, don't lie, but hit them back with the truth. That's something that you're not going to learn anywhere else. And since I just said it here, it will start being taught everywhere else. Everyone now is going to start saying, document minute by minute what the second opinion visit says. I've been saying this for years.
Yep.
Okay. Now, all of your union reps are going to say it. Your OWCP reps are going to say it. They're all going to say it. You just tell them Chris says you're welcome. That was an asshole move. But you know what? That's what's happening. And the second opinion thing really, really pisses me off, because I know what they're doing to you. They spend 5 minutes and they hose your case, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yep.
So here's what you do. What I just said.
Crystal said, I ended up in the ER because of my accident. The hospital did try to bill my insurance, but because of my insistence through my assigned social worker while hospitalized, they did eventually bill OWCP. Good for you. Because a lot of people give up.
Be persistent. That's what I'm talking about, Crystal. Good job.
Tanya said, can you explain the difference between requesting a review and refusing a limited duty assignment offer?
So, okay, you can't refuse a limited duty offer unless it's invalid. But let me get to that. What's the first thing? A difference between that and what?
Here, right here.
No, just read it to me.
Can you explain the difference between requesting a review and refusing a limited duty assignment?
Okay, so I'm going to assume you mean like a review of the limited duty offer. That makes sense to me. But the thing is, a limited duty assignment, you don't need to accept it yourself. That's the thing. People really mess this thing up. Supervisors put this thing in front of you and say, hey, here it is, sign it. You don't have to. That's not what the law says. The law says the supervisor gives a limited duty assignment to the claims examiner. The claims examiner reviews it. The claims examiner lets you know that it's a good offer, in their opinion. And then they give you 30 days to show it to your doctor. The doctor then says, this is good or it's not good. And then that goes back to the claims examiner. Then the claim examiner reviews that and then sends it back to the supervisor. So you have 30 to 45 days to review this thing by law. And supervisors say, you got to sign it now, right now. Otherwise, we're going to take it back. That's not the law. They have to upload it to the claims examiner. The claims examiner tells you, this is a good one. This offer's good. And if your doctor says, no, it's not good, the claim examiner says, okay, let me look, doc. And then the claim examiner and the doctor get on the same page. That's how this thing's supposed to work. I told you it was going to get spicy.
Kathy said, if they transfer me permanently, do they still have to pay my travel miles? She was the one that said it earlier.
All right. So I don't get stumped that often, Kathy. So thanks for this one.
Stump the chump, Chris.
I haven't read anything that says they have to pay the difference in mileage. However, I have read where they have to pay the difference in salary if the job changes. And I'm not sure why that wouldn't also include your mileage. I think that if they send you, look, disclaimer, I don't do I thinks. All right. So this is an I think. This isn't a fact. I think they're going to pay you for your extra mileage, even though they'll only pay you 100% or 100 miles round trip to the doctor. I think to the workplace, they're going to pay the extra. But we're going to go and get a lifeline on that one and find out and get back to you on that.
Mr. Soto, if I need a specialist doctor for my CTS, but I'm in Puerto Rico, do we have any specialists accepting OWCP? Does OWCP allow me to travel overseas to the state to get care?
So yes, OWCP will allow it. You'll have to get pre-authorization in advance from your claim examiner because the OWCP 957, the travel reimbursement form, it pays like mileage, Uber, Lyft, taxi, airfare, bus, hotel, meals, but you've got to get pre-authorization. So that's how that works.
Kevin Andrew, Chris and Jeannie, it sounds like FIC needs to open an office in Hawaii so we can help Miss Harp. Are you a part of the we to help open? That's awesome.
I can't believe it took him so long to answer that.
Victoria, so OWCP wants me to go to work, but I have not received a job offer, and I have went to work. I have went to my work site more than once to provide my work restrictions. What should I do in this situation?
So I want you. Okay, let me start over. I hate for you to be out of work because so many people have told me that I'm out of work and I can't pay my bills. And my friend Rich said, I'm tired of seeing my people go, homeless. And I know that when you can't work, you can't pay your bills. You can't pay your bills. They don't let you live for free. And that's why I want you to go clock in, right? So if like you have a limited duty offer or your doctor says you can go work and they won't let you work, you got to have your union fight for it. And that's what they're there for, right? They're there to fight. Victor's here. He'll tell you, let's fight, right? And he'll do it. So that's what you have to do. You got to fight for it. But if they send you home, guess what's going to happen? What's going to happen if they send them home?
They don't get paid.
You're going to get paid.
You're going to get paid.
If management sends you home,
Yes.
You're going to get paid. But I want you to go clock in because I don't want you to jump through hoops. And so we're not the company doctor. We just understand you want to get paid. You want to pay your bills, right? So we want to get you back at least a limited duty so that you don't get hurt and you also can clock in and they have to pay you. Make your union fight for you.
Yes. And if your local doesn't, try your state, then try national. This is what we tell everybody all the time.
In almost every union, almost every union, we know somebody that wants to fight for you.
Yeah. Miss Harp from Hawaii says, I wish I would have known this before I went in because it is exactly what happened. What can I do now? Still submit my own narrative of the appointment?
Well, you definitely do that. You have your doctor write another narrative report explaining why the other doctor is wrong and why he's right or she's right, and upload that to eComp because the claims examiner says which report is better. So get a new report.
And she said, please, please, we need you in Hawaii.
We know. And I'm really sorry. We know. It's just like for every one that we have, there 100 said no. We fight like hell to get doctors to say yes to you. But in the end, do you really want us to have people we had to beg to help you?
Or halfway through, they don't want that, don't want to do it.
We've had those too. We've had that too. So we don't want to have to beg people to help you. We want people that are fired up to help you.
There was a lot, and the issue is there's so much paperwork. This is
why
the second opinions walk in and out in like less than 5 minutes. They don't want to deal with the paperwork.
And our doctors have to add a whole bunch of staff to run this program because we don't cut corners.
Yep.
It's just not part of the deal. We don't cut corners at all.
Angela said, my OWCP claims examiner stated it. If I write a report into eComp that I disagree with the second opinion doctor based on the limited amount of time spent and is direct contradiction with my other doctors, that I should send it before I receive the second edition report.
It won't matter.
Because if, after all, she will think I disagreed.
Doesn't matter. Let me tell you why. And it's not that your opinion doesn't matter because it matters. It's you. But they're going to weigh medical opinions and you don't have a medical license. Like my opinion, and I am for sure the expert, would not matter. Compared to the second opinion doctor, they go, Chris Helms, who the hell is that? What's his medical license number? Oh, he doesn't have one. So it doesn't matter. And that's not a knock on you. I'm just saying that's how they work.
Yeah. Victor says you have to fight for your rights.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nestor says, I have limited duty offer. I accept it, but 2 weeks later, they told me they no longer have a job for me with this limited duty.
Yep.
Also, I've been out for 2 years. I had 2 surgeries. I haven't gotten better. My knee is getting bad. When do I qualify for a schedule award?
All right, so I'm going to answer this more thoroughly than it's gonna cause a lot of questions. So let me tell you this: don't ask me schedule award questions because we don't have time for that. I'll do a whole schedule award thing here. We don't have time. We also don't have time for an entire federal disability
Yeah,
lesson.
we bring Eric Blowers on, the federal attorney, and he does all of that. So we will be bringing him on, say like maybe March.
With that said, uh, you can't work. They won't give you work. What do you do? Well, yeah, you can get schedule award, of course. If you have a body part that is rateable, like an impairment rating, you can get a schedule award. You can get federal disability. But the problem with disability is once they approve it, if they approve it, you get 60% of your income in year 1 and 40% in year 2. You can still get another job outside of the federal government and get an additional 80% of your previous income. That's nice. By year 2, you can be making 120%. But you have to jump through hoops to get there. The best thing is to get better. That's not possible for everybody. And not everyone is going to be eligible for schedule awards. That's why I don't like to talk about it unless I have the full hour, right, to discuss it because it gets confusing. And not everyone can qualify for federal disability because doctors have to write narrative reports that get that done. And doctors don't write good narrative reports.
And when we're not saying, yeah, just go to our doctors. It literally,
No, I mean,
if
you should
ask
actually.
any of the doctors
Should.
that we have, the amount of training they have to get and stay current with things that we hear, it's a lot.
They get weekly training, like
Yeah.
daily. Their staff is trained every day. We train somebody on something every day of the week, Monday through Friday. And that's what's different between federal injury centers and anybody else. But the problem is, and the reason, like, yeah, if we had federal injury centers on every street corner, everybody would be fine. We could just like stop the live, not have to teach this anymore because every doctor that we train knows how to do this.
Right.
The problem is you're in Nebraska, Iowa, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, right? You're just like, we don't have anybody here. What do we do? And that's why I wrote these books, right? So you got to get the books. And you got to kick your doctor in the ass and make them go. Our doctors, you don't have to kick in the ass so much, but it's just, this is a complicated system. OWCP, schedule awards, federal disability, they're complicated and nobody wants them. And why not? Because doctors like to get paid for what they do, and they don't get paid if your stuff's not approved, and they don't know how to get it approved. That's why our doctors love it, because we get them all approved.
Kathy said, I'm fighting to get work. Supervisor only allows 2 hours per day.
Well, the supervisor is probably a dummy. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know your supervisor, but he or she is probably, low on the IQ level, and they don't know how to find limited duty assignments. But what they're required to do by law is make every possible effort to find a good limited duty assignment. Send that to the claim examiner, let them look at it, have them send it to your doctor, let him look at it or her, and then say yes or no. That's how it goes.
Chris, this is I'm going to answer Christina's message, and just this goes for everybody. She said, paperwork and working and handling your case is harsh. When do I get an attorney? So
Almost
first
never.
of all, if it is possible for you to find, whether it's us or any federal work comp doctor, go there like our offices. Everybody's trained and can help you over the phone to get the process started. That's why when a lot of you call me, I'm like, call the office that's near you, because I'm going to explain it. They're going to explain it. So you might as well just call the office. The case managers are all trained. And like Chris says about training, they get trained every week. And our case managers work with all the case managers every week to answer these questions.
We have an intricate system to make sure that everything for you worked good. That's the whole point.
Tanya said, I was offered a second limited duty assignment and I requested a review today at my preliminary hearing. I was told that because I did not sign the offer when asked, it looks as if I turned down work. I was trying to explain to the judge I had a right for a review. They are making it seem like asking for a review is the same as refusing. I did not refuse to work. I just wanted someone else to review it.
What do you think about that?
So that is not right. You have 30 days to think about it. 30 days. I'm surprised that a judge is involved with that.
It's not really a judge. It's somebody who doesn't know their
Oh,
butt from a hole in the ground.
yes.
So I'm looking in one of my books, like, where's this at? I've written so much about it. Hang on. Keep going.
Okay, so where'd you go? Tanya, he's looking this up to tell you. Christina, if the first doctor did a bad job at surgery, what do I do about that? Oh, what do you do about that?
Change doctors.
Absolutely. Go get yourself your own second opinion, doctor. That is crazy.
Okay, let me go back to limited duty assignments. If you're in volume 4, 25 things you can do to win an OWCP. 21, there's 25 things. Number 21 is don't be bullied into accepting limited duty offers today. This one is constantly done wrong. Your supervisors are constantly putting a limited duty offer in front of you and telling you to sign it now or it'll be pulled. It's total BS. It happens because they don't know the laws and you don't either. So here it goes. So chapter 2, 0814, job offers and return to work. Number 4, offers of employment. Paraphrase, it says this. If the agency can provide alternative limited duty work, it will make an offer to the injured employee and provide a copy to OWCP. What? And provide a copy to OWCP, to the claims examiner. Okay. So why do you think they're required to give a copy to the claims examiner? Well, here's what the law says. OWCP, this is 20 CFR 10.516. OWCP shall advise the employee. Wait, OWCP, the claims examiner advises the employee, advises the claims examiner advises you. Okay. That it has found the offered work to be suitable, and afford the employee 30 days to accept the job or present any reasons to counter OWCP's finding of suitability. So what happens is the claims examiner puts out a limited duty offer. It goes to the claims examiner, and then the claims examiner tells you if it's a suitable offer. And then you have 30 days to show it to your doctor. Whenever your agency says you must accept this now or you can't have it at all, they broke the law.
Victor says, Chris and Sarojini know me as Central Florida Area Local 1462 APWU shop steward. I will fight all the way to the end to make sure employees are represented the correct way. I'm telling you, for an APWU guy, he's on it. Like, no joke, he is.
Everybody should be like APW.
Yeah.
Actually.
Samara Marie, I was told I could go back to work with restrictions. Work is saying they have no work for me. I have been out for a year next month. OWCP sent me something saying USPS has to hold my job for a year and then they'll send me to vocational rehab. Does that mean I'll never be able to come back to USPS?
No, not necessarily, but that is the case. I mean, like rural carriers get 2 years, but everybody else in the Postal Service gets 1 year.
Crystal said, I really want to get back to work, but the modified duty assignments given to me continually get deemed unsuitable, inappropriate for my restrictions by OWCP. This has become very frustrating.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Your doctor has got to take charge. That's what it takes. Your union can fight and should, but your doctor has got to write strong letters like, hey, are these people stupid? Like, we have doctors that write things that you'd be embarrassed to see because our doctors say, hey, we're not putting up with this crap. Why are you abusing these people? And we put it in our letters all the time. We had one doctor, just side note, somebody stepped in a hole. There was a hole in a ditch, and they told their supervisor, I stepped in the ditch, twisted my knee. On the CA1, she said, I stepped in a ditch and twisted my knee. And the supervisor said, my knowledge of the facts of this injury don't agree with this person because she told me she stepped in a hole, but she wrote she stepped in a ditch.
Come on, people.
So the doctor wrote, the hole was in a ditch, you idiot, and then wrote about it. That's the way we do it. Your doctor's got to write like that.
Ms. Harp said, so my employer, TSA, let me go because of my work-related medical condition in 2023 and being unable to work. What are my options if the condition isn't getting better? I'm so lost and will call into the FIC to speak to someone too, but just basic info helps for now.
You have lifetime medical benefits. You can get help for this injury for the rest of your life once the claim is accepted. If you get all the way better, you can try to get your job back. You can get a job at another federal agency. You can get a job at a non-federal agency. But the bottom line is you have the right to get better. You got hurt working for the federal government. You have the right to get better, period.
Tanya said the post office is still refusing COP, although DOL has contacted them to tell them I'm due payment. The EEO judge said this is not his jurisdiction. What do I do?
You might have to call a lawyer.
And if you need one, message me.
We can tell you. Yeah, there's very few times I say that, but this may be one of them.
Yeah. Angela said, will your doctors help if you change to them, even though you can't do PT at their office because you are 4 hours away? Is it worth it to your doctors to take that case when they have to do a lot of work and don't get a lot in return?
Yeah. So the way we work that is we'll happily help you. We'll get your claim accepted. And if you can't drive to the office, because look, I wouldn't drive 4 hours.
That's like us driving from Tampa to Miami 3 days a week.
Round trip, that's fun. 8 hours.
It's right. 8 hours, but we understand.
But we can help you get treatment somewhere close to home and get your claim accepted.
Yeah. So
now, with that said, I don't run every office. We're a franchise location. We set rules. I can't make everybody do everything, but that's our rule in the franchise, that we'll get your claim accepted because that's our favorite thing.
Yeah.
We can send you someplace else to get treatment.
Yeah, we don't care. Not that we don't care. We love having you as patients.
We care a lot.
Yeah.
Care a lot.
All right. So tonight we went over what a CA-10 is and how you file your work injuries. Don't forget to share this live with your coworkers, your friends, your mailman, if you're just an everyday person, or mail lady. Yeah. When I say mailman, I'm meaning it in general.
Yeah, but there's some people that don't see it that way, so I just check them out. We mean mail lady too.
So also, you can find us on Instagram, Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini, LinkedIn on Gini Helms, Breaking OWCP, federalinjurycenters.com, Wednesday night OWCP chats, Chris and Sarojini Helms Facebook pages.
We're everywhere. Like, you actually can only not find us by accident.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And on YouTube. It's free.
Go to breakingowcp.com and download your books. Download Breaking OWCP to your phone and put Breaking OWCP in your pocket. And when your supervisor tries to hose you, you slap them around. Not really, but verbally with the book.
This is cute. Oh, Diane said, thank you both. This was great information. Well,
you're welcome.
And then this one's cute from Tanya. I sent you a message. Thanks you very much for everything you do. You two are beautiful people. I met you in Greenville and laughed at Chris's videos. LOL. Yeah, his videos are hilarious.
Yeah.
Go to his TikTok. You'll crack up.
Just go to TikTok, Breaking OWCP.
You'll find goofy Chris there.
God help you.
All right, everybody. So even though we're going to be on vacation, we're still going to do Wednesday night chats.
We're going to do the podcast.
Everything. Because we know that you guys want it. We may try to get some really cool, if we can, if it doesn't get too late, some scenery in the mountains for you guys to
what
see.
She just said is I have to be out in
outside.
The snow.
Might as well.
In the snow.
Okay. I know a lot of you have been asking about why, and I know, Victor, you posted this to explain the forms. Next week, we're going to be going over forms next Wednesday, what the basic forms are and why you need them. Because a lot of people still don't know about CA-16s.
There's about 5 of them.
CA-20s and things that you attach to your CA-17s. So we're going to go over forms next Wednesday. Angela said, is there a law that we can use to fight OWCP that has been paying for LWOP on an approved claim and suddenly stop paying because they said you were under medical review and they won't pay anymore?
It's not really a law.
Second opinion is completed.
It's fine. You don't have to keep going. It's not really a law. It's just a matter of your doctor writing what we call a disability narrative, explaining why you still need to be out of work. Medically, why are you still out of work? That's what it takes for you to get paid. Sometimes they're just like, hey, we need an update. And so just give it to them.
Yeah. And Victor, you said, see you guys in Miami, April 21st through the 22nd for their APW convention. Those of you that are coming to that convention, everybody's getting this free book. So tell your coworkers, if they want this free book and not have to buy it, come to the convention.
They definitely want the book.
They definitely want the book. So come and we give away some fun stuff. at our table. We might even be doing some funner stuff.
Funner. Oh,
Funner.
that's my favorite word.
Christina said, I don't know if you filed on time, but talk to the union to see if they can. Yeah. Okay. She's answering somebody else. But yeah. So
All
we're
right,
still
so-
going to be doing chats.
All right. With that said, we got to wake up at 3 a.m. So we're done.
Yeah.
And this went longer than we thought. In fact, I thought we weren't doing it, which is funny
Oh,
because
yeah.
I was for sure I was going to go to bed at 7 o'clock because we have to wake up at 3. And I knew like I'm going to have a full night's sleep. I don't know how I was going to go to sleep at 7, but that was my plan. And so now it's 9:15. So we're done.
So you have like 6 hours of sleep.
I'm going on vacation.
Anyway, guys, we're glad that you guys are back. And again, we'll see you next Wednesday. If you're looking for any of our locations, please go to www.federalinjurycenters.com. Again, you can call any of the offices and speak to the case manager. They're there to answer your questions. If you want to buy the books, which is PDF, go to www.breakingowcp.com. Also,
Get them all.
If you want to see us live on the podcast and listen, you can go to Breaking OWCP and we'll be going live. We always put it on chats and all of our pages, letting you know we're going live on our podcast in 30 minutes or whatever.
Everyone's like, gosh, you got federal injury centers. That's where the doctors are. You got Breaking OWCP. That's where the books and the podcast are. And you got Wednesday night OWCP chats. What do we do? Go to all three.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday in Utah. And if there's anything that you guys need, please message me and we will get those questions answered. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good night. See you next week.
Everybody.
Bye.